Hello everyone and welcome back to this Learning OpenZeppelin by Example series. In this video we're going to be learning how to utilize the pausable contract. Pausing smart contracts is a very common functionality included in DeFi protocols. It could be for various reasons that the owners might want to pause the functionality of the smart contract, either due to some sort of drastic market volatility going on or some sort of security incident. Could be a whole variety of reasons, but always it'll be a privileged address that will have the ability to pause and unpause the functionality of a smart contract. Could be either um, community multi-sig or could be just one owner. But in this case, we're just going to use a single owner here, so that's why I imported the ownable contracts that we learned about from the previous video. And then let's go ahead and start coding this up. So we're going to make a contract called Pausable contract, and we are going to extend the ownable contract and pausable contract. And we'll get that red arrow line because we have to add a constructor where we're declaring the initial owner. So we're just going to make the initial owner the contract deployer. And then just to illustrate how this works for the purpose of our unit tests, we'll make a few basic functions here. We'll make a function called do something. No arguments. Let's just have it be external. And we can go ahead and use one of the modifiers from the pausable contract to make sure this function can only be called when the contract is not already paused. So here we can see we have several modifiers, when not paused and when paused. So we want to use the when not paused modifier to ensure that only when the contract is not paused, this function can be invoked. So let's just go ahead and add this when not paused. And let's go ahead and make it return a boolean. Just return true every time. But just so we have something that actually happens when we call it, let's go ahead and add a console log as well. So we'll import the hard hat console logging functionality as well here. There we go. So let's just say did something. And then we also want to include the functionality for pausing and unpausing. So basically we're going to make a couple of these wrapper functions around the functions that are included under the hood here. You can see OpenZeppelin already took care of a couple of edge cases. So you can only pause the contract when it's not already paused, and vice versa. You can only unpause it when it is paused. So that's already taken care of by default here. So we're just going to go ahead and make some wrapper functions around these functions. So we'll say, and the reason why we're going to make the wrapper functions is so that we can add our only owner modifier to make sure only the owner can call these and pause the contract. And we'll just invoke that function from the pausable contract. There we go. The same thing for unpausing it. Okay. All right, and now that we got this little simple example kind of ready to go here, let's go ahead and check out the unit tests that I prepared here. So basically, we're going to be testing that the contract should not be paused when it's first deployed. It should be unpaused at that point. It should allow the owner to pause the contract. It should also emit an event when the contract is paused. It should not allow anyone else other than the owner to pause the contract. It shouldn't be able to pause it when it's already paused. The owner should be able to unpause it, and it should emit an event for that as well. And it should not allow anyone else other than the owner to unpause it. And we shouldn't be able to unpause it when it's already not paused. And then here's the do something method. So we want to basically make sure that this can only be called when the contract is not paused. So let's see here. And yeah, this is testing basically the same thing. The do something can't be called when it's not paused. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh, there's an error. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like I had a typo. I wrote out the contract name here, or let's see here, or not. Where's the typo coming from? Oh yeah, it's in here actually in unit test. So we want to deploy Pausable without the E. Let's try that one more time. All right, it worked. So that's pretty much it for this one. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put all the code up on GitHub here. I'm also going to add a few more console logs so that if you decide to try it for yourself, you'll have some logs so you can kind of inspect and play around with as well. But that's all for this one, and hope to see you guys in the next one.